The scope of the management system is essentially defining the boundaries which the management system applies to. So that can be both in terms of location, activities, products and services. So you need to define what activities you do and where you conduct them and what is the end product or service. Define that within the management system. So it can be clear for everyone using that management system that your activities and your services applies to these processes and procedures.
Scope of management system simply is, what does your management system apply to? What parts of your business does it apply to? What markets, what products, what areas of concern do you have? By going out and defining this helps you understand what's included and what you need to consider.
The scope of your management system, we look at it as the geographic boundaries. So the boundaries within a business or within an entire organization. And the scope is very important. So locations, as you understand, so if you're in Australia and somebody's in Queensland and somebody's in Perth, they could have different regulatory requirements. So understanding the scope of the organization, whether it's national or whether it's regional, is highly important because those will be some of the defining factors or inputs to your management system.
Okay, the scope of your management system, to me, clearly is all the things that are included in your management system, but also probably you would also mention the things that are not included in your management system. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on whether you've got a system that is more devoted to quality, health and safety, environment, food safety, information systems, or some sort of integrated management system that looks at integrating all of these systems. So your scope is really just going to be all the parts that are in your management system. And the section that you use to describe this is often called scope, and it really just is somewhere early in your management system so a reader knows what's there and what's not.
The scope of a management system is a documented information which outlines what your business does. Very simply put, you identify what your business operational activities are and how they fit within your management system and its structure.
So the scope of the management system needs to be a factual statement that accurately represents what you're applying your management system to and the boundaries around what you're applying your management system to.
So the scope of the management system is the parts of your business which are inside your ISO certification. So you may want to have all of your business included, or you may want to exclude certain parts of it. So you may decide that we've outsourced IT, so you're going to exclude IT, but you'll capture that in your supplier management side of things. But it sets the boundaries for what you're going to work on within your system.
The scope of a management system simply defines and documents the boundaries and limits of what will apply to the system. The scope is important as it defines how far the management system extends within the organisation's operations, and it also helps provide clarity to relevant stakeholders. My advice is to ensure that the scope of a management system is as simple, clear and concise as possible, as this helps stakeholders focus on what's important. The scope should include the parts of the organisations included, locations, activities, products and services. It should also consider the internal and external issues relevant to the organisation's context, the requirements of interested parties and compliance requirements. For quality management systems, the scope can also document a justification for any requirement of the ISO 9001 standard that is not applicable to its management system.
If you enjoyed this video, click on the link to view the next compliance conversation.